Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Thursday night, and we just blew right through this one. Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, and we're going to wrap it up tonight. Going to knock it out, and of course, the one who's going to knock it out with me is the realest putt nut of them all. What's up, Phantom? How we doing tonight?
Yo, they did my boy 30 at the end of the season, man. Just locked him up. Why?
Put him in jail. It can't be him. He didn't do nothing wrong. They're going to figure it out. You already know. My man's already excited to get into Season 2. But before we do that, we got to knock out the rest of Season 1. This episode 9 and 10. And yeah, this was kind of like one little running theme, just kind of explaining and tying up all the loose ends. Or did it? Did it tie up most of the questions, or you still have a few?
I did thought I had a few, but you answered me one off camera. You'll probably talk about it in the stream. Like what Maple said, it was like there's still like something was missing. And then I'm like, wait a minute, literally the opening of the freaking show. Like, there's a freaking body in front of freaking Mabel covered in blood. Like, what's going on here? And I thought
That's
that was actually a tied into the actual murder of Tim Kono, but apparently it's not. Or it could be.
that's
You
what's going
never.
on.
We gotta wait till season 2.
Yeah, we don't even know. It could all tie in. It could all be part of it. What's up, Jake Cruz? I see you out there. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about it. Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, Episode 9, and this one was double time. And, well, would you look at that? Your theory still has a chance and holds water because straight away we see that Jan is not dead. And when you saw her move, did you have, like, any thoughts that maybe the stabbing was a setup, or did you think she was a victim at this point?
And I thought she was a victim.
You know,
Like,
you
because in
were
the previous stream, I thought it was like two people. So I thought that since she was helping out the trio, that the other one was like put a stabbed her and was like warning her. Because the whole "I'm watching you" thing.
yeah. Charles is all in and doesn't even want her adjusting her own pillow at this point without his help. Like, he is so sprung and he's not taking any chances on losing her again. And he's just the cutest little puppy dog in love.
Of course, man. Billy been in freaking love for a minute now.
Oh, in a
Just
decade.
so happened to be the damn murderer.
Oh, Charles can't catch a break. And for a second time, Charles says he's going to quit the podcast. It's just too dangerous and he doesn't want Jan getting hurt again. And I was just like, oh, you know he can't quit it. But I mean, it does make sense. Like these two are, this all three of them are getting in way over their heads in this thing. Like there's literally murder going on. They're just all nonchalant about it, like blase, blase. Incredible. And speaking of incredible, how amazing is it that his stunt double is none other than Saz, played by Jane Lynch?
And they really look same. To the point that so many times in this episode, people were like, "Is that Charles?" And they were like, "No." Well, of course, the greatest reaction of them all was Oliver. To the point that he was like, "Oh my gosh, I thought you actually done a makeover." Oh my gosh, I think that was like the loudest I've ever laughed while watching an episode this far this entire season.
Oh, it definitely had some laugh out loud moments. It was amazing. And it looks like today's hangout spot will be Charles's place. Like, how sweet was that when Oliver asked how Jan was and then instantly gave her a huge box to carry? Like, you know, this woman just got stabbed. You're going to hand her this huge box to hold on to? That was messed up.
Man, I don't know what's up between those two. Like honestly, maybe like subconsciously he knew she was the murderer.
He's just jealous. He's found a new bestie and he doesn't want to share time or lose him to this crazy woman. You
That
already
too.
know. That splits it up anytime a girl comes in. Even better when she pointed out, like when she tried to help, she got sent home to get stabbed, and Oliver's all, Saz is a stunt double. I think she knows what she's talking about. Like, I was dying. That whole scene was amazing. And poor Charles, even his new crew is telling him that, like, she's better than he is. Like, everybody likes Saz better than poor Charles. Like, this man cannot catch a break.
Even when she was like going up against like the evidence, I'm like, wait a minute, she's bringing up some good points and shit. Like, Charles, what's up?
That's even when Oliver breaks down, like, she is better than you. I was like, oh, that was just the meanest thing to say. And then at the meeting in the lobby, he tries to act all hard, talking about, I may hurt him. And then immediately starts gearing it back, saying, or at least speak firmly to him. Like, you're a real warrior, Charles. Are you kidding me? And at the meeting, the crew rapidly realized that no one in the building is happy with them. Like, their new murder podcast has all the tenants' guests staying far away. So they're not making any friends with this thing. And Bunny's had it. She, like, takes a vote and is ready to oust all three of them from Laconia. And Charles is losing it. Like, first his girlfriend gets stabbed. Now he's losing his place. Like, he says he is absolutely done with the podcast. Did you ever believe that?
Nah, not for a second. But that was wrong though. How they just voted against them out and just try to get them evicted. I'm like, seriously? Crazy.
You could just get a little sect together. All you need is what, eight people out of all those people who live there. You only need to find eight to vote against somebody to get them out.
And that wasn't even like majority. Like there was still a bunch of more people in that room that could have been like no, or they just didn't care. But then again, it was all in fear of the I forgot her character, one with the glasses.
I'm just saying in general, you got a situation like that, and all of a sudden you got a buddy that wants to come in and get it. You just get a couple of your other buddies from the Harconia to vote somebody that was annoying you out, and now your buddy has a new spot. Like, I don't know, that just doesn't seem like a good guideline for a place. Only 8 people. He said, "That's just Oliver. We already knew there was a second season." Yeah, exactly. Charles wasn't going anywhere. We had season 2 to deal with, and now we already know that there's a season 3 to deal with. So, does that take a little bit of away from you?
Hell no, because I know at the end of the second season, probably gonna be just as crazy as the end of the first season. Then I have to wait until season 3 drops, and I think you tell me it's gonna be a weekly thing.
Uh,
Oh, that's. I hope it's not. Maybe it all drops all at
yeah,
once.
Hulu. I think Hulu. It's a weekly thing. I believe it is.
Oh my gosh, let me double check how season 2 is done. If
Oh,
so, it's gonna be torture as hell. I can
it's
do
the only
two
way to
by
do it.
two.
It's the absolute only way to do it. What's up, Jake? Do you remember? Does Hulu drop them all at once, or do they go week by week? I think they might go week by week.
I thought Jake binged it.
Yeah, but because it was already out, it's been out for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been out for a while. But when Jan was packing up and leaving, did you think she was leaving him for good? Like, you're about to be ghosted, my man. It didn't seem like she was just walking out for the night to go get ready for a concert. It seemed like she was packing up to leave.
It seemed like she was like almost like giving like space vibes.
Yeah. Like, let's just both go our ways for a minute and see what happens.
Oh yeah, it's a weekly thing. I think it's gonna be the first 2 episodes gonna be like they always stream it, and then it's gonna be like a weekly thing. Unfortunately.
Perfect. I love it. That's absolutely right up my alley. I love that. Oliver, with no place else to go, has to stay with Mabel. And when he asked her not to do anything in there, I was dying. I was like, dude, give this lady some credit. She is not going to be smashing with you on her couch.
Wow. At one point, I was like, "Wait a minute, whose place is this?" And at one point, I thought it was Charles for a second. I was like, "No, he kicked them out." And then literally after that, I'm like, "Wow." Could even go to his son's place. Still awkward between the both of them.
No, he's got to stay at that Arconia. He's not trying to get kicked out. Not getting me out of here. Then Mabel and Oliver try to rehash the story from the beginning and realize Tim had a different color trash bag straps in his place than the one that was currently holding in the elevator. So whose trash was he taking out?
That was my question. And they were like, and then I think it was what this episode they found that he was seeing someone. Then I'm like, who the hell this guy could be seeing that we haven't saw yet? And then they went to the black chick, his neighbor. I'm like, oh shoot, was he sleeping with the neighbor? The same neighbor who was like waiting for that apartment to like clear out. But then they're like, no, he's not. I'm sleeping with that one. It was someone else. Then it turned out to be freaking Jan of all people.
All people. She likes those age difference. Oh man, how is Saz gonna take and eat Charles's omelet and then talk shit about it being sad and melancholy? Like you can just take your ass down the street and eat talking all that mess. I was
So
like,
nonchalant about it.
I'm telling you, just take that man's breakfast and then talk shit about it on top of it. Like that is just ruthless. But at least she talked him into going to watch Jan play at her concert. But is that really a good thing? Like she already told this man not to come. Like I don't know.
Nah, you know how it is. You know, women are like, "Oh, don't come," blah blah blah. Next thing you know, you don't go, and they'd be like, "Why didn't you show up? You were supposed to go." So that was a good part on Charles, but at the same time, it's like, "Oh, she lied about being, first chair, and also being the murderer."
Oliver and Mabel decide to go interview Tim Kono's neighbor and find out he did indeed receive a late night lady caller. And with what Saz said about this being a crime of passion, I think we're starting to close in who the real killer may be. Then
Mm,
Mabel looks up the so-called sex toy from Tim's box, only to find out it's actually a bassoon cleaner. Now, why would Tim have a bassoon clean? And like, did we just uncover the true murderer? Like, you already know.
yeah. Instantly, I messaged you. I'm like, "Oh, shoot, it's her."
Oh, Charles just uncovered that his girlfriend is a liar. If she lied about being first chair, what else did she lie about?
Every damn thing.
Lied
It's
about
like you
all of
told me, like in the first episode, in the first stream. He's like, I don't trust anyone, and when I go into season 2, I'm not gonna trust anyone either, except for Oliver. I trust Oliver. Honestly, Oliver has not lied at all, really. And if he does the white lie so he can, gain some extra cash. But that's Oliver.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
food, anything free or whatever.
He's just silver tongue, getting his hustle on. That's all. That's how he gets down. Oh man, that was that episode 9, the penultimate episode. And we got just a couple questions. If you know these answers, put them in the chat box. If you're watching
Oh
later,
yeah, the merch. This is the episode where we saw the merch, right? The tie dye. Of course, it's a tie dye hoodie. With
of course it is. My man, any way to make a buck. That's how he gets down. Oh, let's see what you remember. What newspaper was Teddy on the cover of?
God damn it! Wait a minute, I thought I wrote some notes. I guess I deleted it or something. Oh my god,
Uh-oh.
crazy.
Go without the notes. Oh, what's up? If you remember out there, put it in the chat box. If you later, put it in the comment section down below. What newspaper was Teddy on the cover of? And keeping it moving. What was Charles' girlfriend's name that left him for Saz?
Yeah, I don't know that. No, I don't think I wrote notes for this.
Uh-oh.
Going off of memory.
Couple deep dives. It'd be a little easier for 10, but this one, it's too bad. What was Charles' girlfriend's name that left him for Saz? How long was Charles' ex with Saz before she left her as well? How long was Charles's ex with Saz before she left her as well?
Was it 40 years?
That is incorrect. Wow,
30 years.
That is incorrect as well.
20 years.
Hey, we got a winner. 4 times the charm. Absolutely correct. 20 years. Oh, man.
Is she transgender? The character.
Saz? I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Just more manly than Charles, so it always worked out. He has feminine hips, she said. I didn't figure out the killer in season 2 until they revealed it. Season 1, I had it pegged after Charles said he fell in love with the murderer in one of his shows. Yeah, they dropped a couple. Had some good hints along the way. That was a good pickup, though. And last but not least for this one, what was the real first chair bassoonist's name?
No idea. At one point, when that conversation they were having, I was like, "Wait a minute! Don't tell me that Janice was seeing 2 people, and this guy is actually like the actual boyfriend." I'm like, "Wow,
That would be amazing." That's why she didn't want him there, because her other boyfriend was going to be there.
Just a side piece, Charles. Just a side piece.
That would have been amazing. They could have made that work too. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, if she wasn't the murderer, or even if she was still the murderer, still.
Yep, exactly. That would have made it even better. Oh, but we're going to keep it moving right into the finale. Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, Episode 10. This is called Open and Shut. We open with Tim Kono giving us the rundown of how and the how and the why, and also the why now. And all Oliver cares about is that he finally has his amazing ending to what he was hoping for his podcast. And it's just like, I don't know, they're just living in fantasy land of it all with this man. All he cares about is his podcast. Doesn't care that there's murders going around, just rushing into danger, but acting like it's no big deal. Like absolute fantasy land.
Just love it. Then he records, just walking down this and that. You gotta love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's not afraid. Like he's saying it too loud to the point that the murder could just be around the corner or something.
Right, listening to it all, or watching them through the window, which we already saw part of. So they rushed to Warren Charles, and when he tried to tell Mabel to not rush the door and break it down, like I was dying. Like I laughed even harder when he attempted to knock it down. It's like she is like, we are 125 pounds together. Like stop it.
And then he still went in, but he did it by himself. And then she decided just to unlock the door.
He's like, you couldn't have told me that before I smashed my shoulder into this thing. Oh, it was amazing. And you gotta love how Oliver just has zero chill. Like Mabel tries to chill Charles with like a little bit of couth, but Oliver just blurts it right out. You're sleeping with a murderer. This man has zero chill. It's amazing.
Telling you, Martin Short, I love that guy.
Oh, he's great. Dude, the acting in this show is just perfection. Like, yeah, I love it. Of course, like just like most men that don't get enough, he's like not really trying to hear it. Like this is the first relationship he's had in decades, and he's not trying to lose it. Like, I'm not trying to hear that my girlfriend's a murderer. Even
Tragic.
though you just found out that she's a liar, so you're already going to start double guessing things. And he kicks him out, and moments later, Jan shows up to apologize. And she said if she hurries, no one will notice that she's gone. But then soon starts talking about having 12 drinks with Charles. Like, I don't trust it. Like, what?
And that's when he started not trusting her, taking those stage sips.
Exactly. So he invites her in and thinks he's playing her by not drinking the poison drink she made, but little does he know the poison's not on the glass. This time it's on the handkerchief. She likes to switch it up a little bit. My
Oh,
man,
that's smart. That's smart for her, honestly, Devious, but smart.
it is. She said, I like to switch it up. I was like, he didn't see that one coming. He thought he was playing her. He's getting played. And just as he's breaking it down, the poison starts kicking in, and he is in a bad way quick. Oh, man. Meanwhile, Oliver and Mabel are searching Jan's place, and they find the knife that she stabbed herself with, and they also find the infamous green jewel ring. Like, how is she keeping all this evidence just laying around her apartment? Like, what?
That's true, though.
Is she
Of
trying to
all
get
things,
caught?
she kept the ring, the knife.
She's trying to get caught. Like, she's just feeling guilty and secretly wants to get caught for all this.
But Mabel was done picking up that knife, though, because literally has the prints, her fingerprints on it. When I know that happened, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Get some of them rubber gloves on. And how twisted is Jan? Like Charles is laying there dying, and she starts like feeding him dad jokes, talking about "I won't be seeing you, but sooner or later." Like that was just
I was like, one last one for the road.
that was just a whole new level of low. I was like, no, you didn't. That was ruthless. Charles, not totally off his game, did have an ace up his sleeve as well. Like he recorded her whole confession. Now, if he can just live long enough to get it to the right people, he was like, my man was out. You better figure it out quick because it seems like she's about to try to blow up the entire building to cover her tracks. Like this woman has just got no chill. She's about to go for broke.
Yeah, that's like a freaking, is it mass murder?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Correct term.
Yeah, killer puns indeed, Jake.
And with the new cat, too? Tragic.
Unbelievable. Oh,
News
yeah.
would have probably been saying that the cat died. Who care
That's,
about everyone else? It's just the cat that died.
oh, we get a couple Hollywood tropes of them missing each other in the elevator until they finally catch back up with him on his floor. And they soon realize Jan's going to try to blow up the building, and it's a race to the basement to try and stop her. All the while, Oliver's narrating the finale for the podcast. Like, my man's just not giving up. He's got to make sure he gets it in. He's just killing me. And then they soon realize they get to the basement and stop the gas from being spread, only to be held up at gunpoint by Jan. But then Charles like rises to the occasion and gives that great speech about how she's not going to shoot his friends. At least in his mind, that's how it's going down. Because actually, he was still strapped in this choller, chirping complete gibberish.
I wish that actually was that speech happened, man. That would have been like the best acting that Charles ever did. And finally, this man can prove that he was a good actor. But nope, he was still drugged up. And was it baby stroller?
Oh, the dog stroller.
Oh, dog stroller.
Oh, ridiculous! And that's my other thing. Like, why does Oliver have this dog stroller when we see at the end he didn't even have his dog anymore? Like his son was still taking care of it.
I mean, he still has it though. I guess he had like a spare one.
But I'm saying, like, why is he running around with it? Like him and old girl are running up and down elevators, and why is he pushing that around? There's no dog in it. Like he just wants to push around the stroller. Like that didn't make any sense. I mean, it made sense for
Wasn't the
plot
equipment on
convenience.
it?
What's that?
I think the equipment was on it, wasn't it? Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. It just seemed like plot convenience to me. I'm like, why is he
Yeah.
running around with a stroller when he didn't even have his dog? And I didn't even realize that until the end when his kid brought the when his son brought the dog back. I was like, wait a minute, this dog ain't even living with him. Why is he pushing a dog stroller around through all this? Like it was convenient to pick Charles up and get him in, but yeah, it just made no sense. I was like, that was one that was a loose end for me. So Oliver pushes him into Jan, which makes her drop the gun. Then Mabel puts the big green gem to good use and punches Jan out cold. And Jan gets arrested, and Charles gets his stomach pumped, and Oliver gets told by Bunny that they can all stay and keep their apartments. And it seems like a happy enough ending, but we already know it can't end like that.
Indeed.
But to me, that Mabel lying to Bunny seemed like a little bit much. Like, why now is Bunny the most hated person in the building? Like, what did she do?
I mean, she pretty much evicted, was about to evict their saviors. Because without them, if they were evicted, the building would have been blown up and everyone there would have died.
I guess I give her that, but I just thought it was harsh. Like,
Then again, that's kind of like mess up on them because now they called her a bitch, but and this and that. Then we see near the end of the episode, she's dead. So the pretty much everyone's gonna be like, oh, wait, maybe the prime suspects were them.
And yeah, you're covered in her blood. We're like, we just saw you calling her a bitch outside, so you already had some beef. So what happened? And then that was her fucking sewing needle stuck in her chest. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a problem.
And ironic, they were saying that throughout the entire season how she wants to use this sewing needle.
What's up? Mabel did it all along. It was Mabel all along. So things look to be getting back to normal, even when he's back home and in good health, which makes me wonder again why Oliver was pushing around that damn doggy stroller the whole time when he didn't even have the damn dog. But his son tries to give him the money he's always been asking for, but finally he can refuse it because he's making that long ends with the podcast money now. Getting that podcast cash. We see
Mm-hmm.
we see Charles finally learned how to send a proper text and not sign his whole name to it anymore. Like little stuff like that had me laughing out loud through this whole episode. He's like signed Charles. Hey, he's like, oh wait a minute, let me erase that. Like, Mabel's teaching him up, getting him right. So the three are chilling on the rooftop, sipping champagne and refreshing their victory, but relishing in their victory of solving the murder mystery when they run out of champagne. And Mabel heads to her place to go grab some more bubbly. And while gone, Charles and Oliver both receive a text telling them to get out of the building. Who sent that text?
That's a good question.
Like, who
It
had
could
both?
be the officer.
The detective?
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of thinking because she's like, "Don't say a word" when she went out. But how did she know like what she got going on? Like, how did she know to tell him to get out of the building?
Hmm. And it happened like seconds away after
Yeah,
like Maple left, so it's like the timing there was like, eh.
she must have already been in, or she saw somebody. She was watching them. She saw something, knew something was about to go down. Like somebody was after him. She didn't want to reveal it. Like, why wouldn't she go in after him, like to save him? That just seems kind of thing seems weird. Like, who texts these men? Inquiring minds need to know. But they rush to get Mabel and find her where this whole story started, knelt over a dead bunny covered in blood. And she says it's not what it looks like. Yeah, it never is. Oh, and then we get one last cameo from Cindy Canning, who we see is actually a pretty shitty boss. What do we think of Old Murders in the Building season 1?
Enjoyed the hell out of it. Wish I seen it sooner. Also, like back in like I forgot what episode it was. You saw that near the end of the episode. She was like writing a podcast about this, pretty much near the end of this season, and it seemed like she was like blaming Charles for the murder. So it's like, how come is it now pinned on Charles of all people?
Yeah, when Charles was up there with
Hmm.
Oliver. So yeah, it couldn't have been him who did it.
Unless they just assume that because he was sleeping with the previous murder, it's like him. But even then, like,
Oh man, maybe they'll reveal all that in season 2. We're gonna have to get into it and figure it out. Should we just jump into that one next and do start it out episodes 1 and 2 and next Tuesday?
sure.
Just keep knocking it
I
out.
wanted to do 1 and 2 right now as well, because the moment that finale happened, I'm like, this is how the hell you end it. I ain't gonna watch 1 and 2, but then I'm like, fuck, I gotta talk to DJ about these 2 damn finales and then watch it.
Oh, did you end up watching the first 2 already?
Nope, I'm still waiting. My mind is itching, but luckily I don't work. Call it Friday night, so I got something to watch.
Do it, absolutely. Yeah, I love those two. I mean, those two, you knew they were going to be great together, and just somehow the dynamic with Selena in there just works so perfectly.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is just meant to be. So, yeah, as soon as we got it, I don't even know who or what or why we did it. I was just like, oh yeah, I saw like a commercial and we watched one, and yeah, it just sucked us right in. We ended up motoring right through it. So, didn't binge it all in one night, but probably saw it in like 2 or 3 nights. So, yeah, I liked it a lot. Absolutely. So yeah, we'll just roll right into it, and yeah, Selena did do a great job, absolutely. And like I said, anybody who didn't know, I've already seen these. It's fandom who hasn't seen it, so we're just kind of leading him through it, seeing if we can figure out before they reveal who the killer is. But yeah, we're gonna roll through it and keep it moving. Season 2, and then again, they are they're gonna start filming season 3 in January, so that one will be coming up next.
Wait, they're gonna start filming in January?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah,
Oh my god, I thought they were already filming this damn thing.
no, they're gonna start filming it in January. But I mean, they're half-hour episodes. They're pretty quick. I mean, I don't think it'll take too long.
Still,
I would
man.
say by March, June, somewhere in there.
Hmm.
I think they'll pop it right out. I don't think it'll take too long. So yeah, they already got the crew. They already got all the people. They don't have to hire too many more. I'm sure they'll have a couple new characters, but yeah, can't wait to see how they do it and bring it back. Because yeah, this show is just fun and quirky as hell. Absolutely.
Oh,
And
the main thing that she was drawing was like literally the credits mirror that we always keep on seeing, or as well as the intro.
mm-hmm.
So that was nice of her.
Oh yeah, straight artiste. That's what she's doing there at her aunt's place. She's supposed to be remodeling and drawing the artwork on the walls. So yeah, that's what she's doing at the Arconia. So can't wait to see what happens and how they get out of it in season 2. Have you watched any of the second season yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, gonna get into it. 2 episodes at a time. We're gonna be motoring right through 1 and 2 next Tuesday. So I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic weekend out there, and it only gets better from here. And absolutely, Jake, I've already seen the first 2 episodes of Wednesday, so
Damn, no trivia.
we might be. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Got so into talking about the whole finale and wrap up. I actually do only have 3 questions, so we'll see if we knock it out and see if we remember it. If you know this answer, put it in the chat box. If you're watching later, put it in the comments down below. How long did Tim Kono say he spent with our crew on the elevator the day that they met?
12 minutes.
Incorrect.
What? 14 then.
That is incorrect as well.
Still? That's how long? Oh, I think after that he had like 12 or 14 minutes to die. That I think for sure. But in the elevator, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Uh-oh. What's up, Jake? You remember how long you said? He said no trivia. Yep, I almost forgot about it. What's up, Jake? You remember how long? How long did Tim Kono say he spent with our crew on the elevator the
Is it
day?
30 seconds?
That is incorrect.
Damn, Jake.
Layton is wrong. Oh, here we go. We'll get you back on track. This is the one you were looking for. How long after that fateful elevator ride was Tim murdered?
It was like 12 minutes.
There you go. Hey, we got another one. 50-50. So here we go. Win or lose. See if we can remember. What apartment did Tim Kono live in?
Is it 6B?
Oh, that's incorrect.
6A?
That is also incorrect.
It has to be 9B or 9A.
Oh, man. Poor guy.
Hey, I don't know these apartments. I do know Maple's age. I was like, oh, sure, that's her age this whole time?
Yep. How old is she?
28.
Absolutely correct.
I was like, oh, same age as me.
That would have been a good one. I'll put that one on here for later. I don't know why I didn't ask that one. For your information, I'm 28.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, see if anybody remembers that later. Try to do a little trivia show with all these questions from all the shows. See if anybody remembers. 12A is incorrect, Jake. Wow, 3 questions, but I guess they were rough ones. Send them packing. Send them packing. But yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes of Wednesday. I'm liking it okay, not too bad. I also watched the first 2 episodes of Willow. Boy, I see that. I was looking at some things. I haven't really watched too many of them, but just the thumbnails online and on YouTube, it seems like there is a lot of hate out there for Willow.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. How long ago that show came out? Not show, the movie?
88, I think it was.
Yeah. Only when they bring stuff like that back, it's going to be like rare that people are going to like it.
They're like, oh, it's just the woke, the new woke. Blah, blah, blah. I was just like, I mean,
Is it?
they switch up a few things, yeah. But honestly, I don't remember that much about the movie. I wasn't some crazy diehard Willow guy. Like I've seen the movie, but I don't remember that much about it. So yeah, I don't really care how much they switched up as long as it's good and entertaining. And so far, it's got me wanting to watch the next couple episodes. Like they already dropped 3. I haven't watched that one yet, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not hating on it so far. Willow's okay, a little cringe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the part in the beginning with it's a little bit, but whatever. We'll see where it goes. See if it picks up, gets better, or if it just goes balls deep into just Woke City and just really sucks. But we shall see. But yeah, Wednesday I'm on it, and I don't know. Might do a recap of that, and that's why I've only watched the first 2 episodes in case we want to break those down and try to guess and see what's going to happen. See who the murderer is. I already think it's that teacher with the muddy boots, but it almost seems too obvious. So we'll have to see where it goes from there. I was like, man, they just showed the muddy boots. She's got to be the murderer because it happened out in that field. So we shall see. But then again, the monster wasn't wearing boots, so who knows? Who knows? Who knows? He said we do. I watched the movie a few months ago. Yeah, I haven't watched that one. So yeah, oh, he said we do. Are you talking about Wednesday? Need to do a recap of Wednesday? Break that down. I can definitely do that. And Willow, there isn't really much to break down in the first two, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch the third one, and then if we do that, we'll probably just do the first three all at once and do them in 3 sections instead of 2. But yeah, on that note, like I said, I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you next Tuesday. Be easy, everybody.